Are we live? Doesn't look like it. Unless. Are we live? Let's see. It says we're live. Okay, we are. Okay, hello. Hold on. Let's just double check. Let's just double check here. Doesn't look like it. Okay, we're live. Okay. I don't know how many people are gonna actually watch this or who actually gives a fuck, but I'm gonna be in pain for this entire there's no shot I'm watching 2 hours. I think I might just I don't think I can handle 2 hours of fucking Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin, okay? Okay, we'll see. I was gonna just do a couple predictions real quick, so okay, let's just do let's do a checklist of stuff. Putin. No, let's just do stuff that will happen. Let's just do a quick checklist here. So what are we thinking? Okay, well, let's do like a free one. Obviously, we're gonna do a little LGBT propaganda. Okay, that's not how you spell that word, but I'm stupid. Let's do Trump glazing. It's definitely gonna be a lot of that. Because I'm pretty sure this whole interview is basically a setup for to make it seem like it's all Joe Biden's fault. Like, I'm pretty sure that's the angle they're gonna be going for. Like, oh well, if Trump was in office, then this all would have not happened at all. It all would have been solved because Trump is like a master negotiator or whatever. Even though we know that's not really accurate, but yeah, that's what I'm expecting. Nazis in Ukraine. That should be pretty obvious. Traditional family values. That's a classic Putin talking point. Traditional family values. Let me think. What else are they? A NATO expansion, of course. NATO expansion. Let me think. What else do we got? Biden, old, slush, bad. Seems fine for now. Let's do a list of hard questions that will not be brought up, I'm assuming. So let's do hard questions. These are because I'm going in with a semi-open mind despite Tucker Carlson's like past track record. But these are the questions that I would actually want to ask Putin if I had the chance. Let's do Ukraine war failures. Prigozhin. I'm assuming Prigozhin will be brought up in some way, but will he actually admit to having killed him? I'm not too sure, but I guess we'll see. Oh, also, I don't know how to spell his name in English, but Prigozhin killing 6 Russian army members. I haven't typed on this keyboard before. This is on my other laptop, so I'm kind of slow. Army, I think it was pilots. And getting away with it. Navalny. I don't know how to spell Russian shit in English. Whatever, it's fine. Navalny. Election fraud in Russia. What else is not gonna be brought up? Let's do Mariupol, the city in Ukraine that was leveled. Let's do Bucha massacre. That's not how you spell that, but we have autocorrect, so we're good. This is Bucha is like the one that most people in Russia, when they get arrested for like discrediting the Russian military, this is the one that most of them get arrested for. So this is like a no go for sure. So there's no shot that this is getting brought up. Let's go American journalist imprisoned. I forgot what the fuck his name was, but yeah. What other? Hold on, I haven't looked at the chat at all. Is anybody even chatting? No, nobody's chatting. Okay, we're good. Yeah, okay. I think that's fine for now. So these are questions. Oh, we can do Boris Nemtsov murder. Let's do just like Chechnya in general, I guess. Yeah, we'll see. My expectations are fucking rock bottom for this, but we'll see how it goes. Should be interesting. I'll start at not 2x, but we'll see. Okay. Fuck. I'm actually gonna kill myself watching this. Hold on. Let me drink some Red Bull. We should get going here. Okay.
Russia, Vladimir Putin.
Oh, fuck. Okay. One second. Did it get taken down? No, we're good.
The following is...
Okay. Let me just make sure the audio also works on the stream.
Okay. An interview with the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, shot...
Okay, it works. We're good. Okay. Let's get into it.
February 6, 2024 at about 7 p.m. in the building behind us, which is, of course, the Kremlin. The interview, as you will see if you watch it, is primarily about the war in progress, the war in Ukraine, how it started, what's happening, and most pressingly, how it might end.
Oh, hold on. One more for the chemical labs in Ukraine. This is like if they get really goofy. Should I put the warrior pigeons / warrior pigeons? Okay. Last one.
One note before you watch. At the beginning of the interview, we asked the most obvious question, which is, why did you do this? Did you feel a threat, an imminent physical threat? And that's your justification. And the answer we got shocked us. Putin went on for a very long time, probably half an hour, about the history of Russia going back to the 8th century. And honestly, we thought this was a filibustering technique and found it annoying and interrupted him several times. And he responded he was annoyed by the interruption. But we concluded in the end, for what it's worth, that it was not a filibustering technique. There was no time limit on the interview.
Bro, I gotta speed this up.
More than 2 hours. Instead, what you're about to see seemed to us sincere, whether you agree with it or not. Vladimir Putin believes that Russia has a historic claim to parts of Western Ukraine. So our opinion would be to view it in that light, as a sincere expression of what he thinks. And with that, here it is. Mr. President, thank you. On February 22nd, 2022, you addressed...
Okay, let's slow it down now that we're done with just Tucker, okay? We got the main man over here. The main bald fucking head shining. Let's see. Good luck.
Your country in a nationwide address when the conflict in Ukraine started. And you said that you were acting because you had come to the conclusion that the United States, through NATO, might initiate a, quote, surprise attack on our country. And to American ears, that sounds paranoid. Tell us why you believe the United States might strike Russia out of the blue. How did you conclude that?
It's not that America.
Oh my god, it's fucking voiceover and not subtitles. Oh my god, I don't want to hear fucking... I speak Russian, I don't need this shit right now. Whatever, it's fine.
United States was going to launch a surprise strike on Russia. I didn't say that. Are we having a talk show or a serious conversation?
Here's the quote. Thank you. It's a formidable serious talk.
Because your basic education is in history, as far as I understand.
Yes?
Тогда я позволю себе
So, if you don't mind, I will take only 30 seconds or 1 minute to give you a short reference to history for giving you a little historical background.
Please.
Well, at the beginning, Tucker already said that he's about to go on for 30 minutes of random shit that has nothing to do with the actual question. So, yeah, because it's pretty obvious that America was not about to launch a fucking attack on a nuclear power. But hey, you know, we'll see. Maybe he's gonna give some enlightening historical context that's gonna change my mind on everything. We'll see.
Вот смотрите, с чего
Let's
начались
look
наши
where our relationship with Ukraine started from.
Откуда она взялась?
Where did Ukraine come from?
Российское государство стало
The
собираться
Russian state started gathering itself as a centralized statehood,
годом создания российского государства,
and it is considered to be the year of the establishment of the Russian state in 862,
Новгород на северо-западе страны.
when the townspeople of Novgorod invited a Varangian prince, Rurik, from
Bro, there's no shot we're going to fucking Ruriki or whatever the fuck. Like, are you... Oh my god. I hope the whole interview isn't, like, already like this. Okay, yeah, this is very, very relevant already to the current conflict. Okay.
Scandinavia to reign.
Военных. 862 год. В 1800
In 1862, Russia celebrated the 1000th anniversary of its statehood,
своей государственности и в Новгороде.
and in Novgorod there is a memorial dedicated to the 1000th anniversary of the country.
В 1882 году,
In 882, Rurik's successor, Prince Oleg, who was actually playing the role of regent at Rurik's younger son,
по сути, функция регента,
because Rurik had died by that time, came to Kiev.
к этому времени пришел в Киев, отстранил от власти двух братьев,
He ousted two brothers who apparently had
членами дружины Рюрика,
once been members of Rurik's squad.
имея два центра в Киеве и в Новгороде.
So Russia began to develop with two centers of power, Kiev and Novgorod.
Следующая очень значимая дата в истории
The
России.
next very significant date in the history of Russia was 988.
Владимир
This was the baptism of Russia, when Prince Vladimir, the great-grandson of Rurik, baptized Russia and adopted Orthodox.
Bro, why do we care about any of this shit right now? I'm actually about to skip ahead. Like, what is bro waffling about? Why do we need to go back to the fucking 1800s baptism of Russia? Like, this is... How is this relevant? Okay.
Or Eastern Christianity.
централизованная российская государство.
From this time, the centralized Russian state began to strengthen. Why? Because of the single territory, integrated economic size,
Один язык.
one and the same language, and, after the baptism of Russia, the same faith and rule of the prince. The centralized Russian state began to take shape.
Российское государство.
Back in the Middle Ages, Prince Yaroslav the Wise introduced the order of succession to a throne.
Введение престола наследия
But after he passed away, it became complicated for various reasons.
чуть-чуть попозже, после того, как он ушел из жизни.
The throne was passed not directly from father to eldest son, but from the prince who had passed away to his brother, then to his sons in different lines.
Потом сыновьям по разным линиям. Все это привело к
All this led to the fragmentation and the end of
Okay, this guy's actually just waffling. Holy shit. I really hope it's not 2 hours of random historical facts that aren't really relevant to modern history in any way. But I'm assuming it might just be. We'll see.
Rus as a single state.
привело к раздробленности.
There was nothing special about it. The same was happening then in Europe.
Но раздробленное русское государство стало легкой добычей.
But the fragmented Russian state became an easy prey to the empire created earlier by Genghis Khan.
Хан Батый пришли на Русь,
His successors, namely Batu Khan, came to Rus, plundered and ruined nearly all the cities. The southern part, including Kiev, by the way, and some other cities, simply lost independence, while northern cities preserved some of their sovereignty.
The live Tucker
They
reaction.
had to pay tribute to the horde, but they managed to preserve some part of their sovereignty.
славы единое российское государство.
And then a unified Russian state began to take shape with its center in Moscow.
Оно начало
The southern part of Russian lands, including Kiev,
к тому центру, который склонился.
began to gradually gravitate towards another magnet, the center that was emerging in Europe.
Его даже называли Литовской
This was the Grand Duchy of Lithuania.
составляли значительную
It was even called the Lithuanian Russian Duchy, because Russians were a significant part of this population. They spoke the old Russian language and were Orthodox.
объединение, уния Великого княжества Литовского.
But then there was a unification, the union of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania and the Kingdom of Poland.
Уже в духовной силе.
A few years later, another union was signed.
Bro, why the fuck are we talking about medieval Russian, Polish, Lithuanian history? Why? Who cares? Why are we starting the fucking interview with this? Holy shit.
Подчинилась власти.
But this time already in the religious sphere.
Таким образом, вот эти земли
Some of the Orthodox priests became subordinate to the Pope. Thus, these lands became part of the Polish-Lithuanian state.
ополячиванием этой части населения. язык внедряли туда свой.
During decades, the Poles were engaged in Polonization of this part of the population. They introduced a language there, tried to entrench the idea that this population was not exactly Russians, that because they lived on the fringe, they were Ukrainians.
Занимается
Originally, the word Ukrainian meant that the person was living on the outskirts of the state, along the fringes, or was engaged in a border patrol service. It didn't mean any particular ethnic group.
политически
So the Poles were trying to,
относились
in every possible way, to colonize this part.
So basically saying that the Ukrainian ethnicity is like made up, basically, because like do we understand that most ethnicities, quote unquote, in Europe, or most countries in Europe at one point were like a bunch of fucking random like how far back do you want to go? Like if you want to go far back enough, then you can say that any ethnicity is made up at a certain point. Like why are we starting here? Why are we not starting when everyone was like in a fucking caveman tribe? Like, okay. But yeah.
Part of the Russian lands and actually treated it rather harshly, not to say cruelly. All that led to the fact that this part of the Russian lands began to struggle for their rights.
писали письма.
They wrote letters to Warsaw demanding that their rights be observed and people be commissioned here, including to Kiev.
I beg your pardon, can you tell us what period? I'm losing track of where in history we are.
Это было
It was in the 13th century.
Ну вот, это в 13 веке. Это было в 13 веке. Значит, и
Now I will tell you
I'm also losing track of what. Okay. I mean, my historical knowledge isn't particularly good, but yeah, none of this is particularly relevant to. Actually, it's not particularly relevant. It's just not relevant to the current conflict whatsoever. Like, okay, whatever.
you what happened later
назовут даты, чтобы не было путаницы.
and give the date so that there is no confusion.
В 1600,
And in 1654, even a bit earlier,
чуть раньше даже, люди, которые контролировали,
the people who were in control of the authority over that part of the Russian lands
чтобы присылали к ним на
addressed Warsaw, I repeat, demanding that they send them to rulers of Russian origin and Orthodox faith. When Warsaw did not answer them, and in fact rejected their demands, they turned to Moscow, so that Moscow took them away.
чтобы вы не думали, что я что-то придумал.
So that you don't think that I'm inventing things,
Oh
I'll give
no.
you these documents.
Well, it doesn't sound like you're inventing it. I'm not sure why it's relevant to what happened 2 years ago.
True, actually true. Okay, rare Tucker W, but this guy fucking historical documents from the Middle Ages proving that Ukraine was never real. It was made up by the Polish fucking Kingdom of Poland. Like, okay, bro. Oh my god, I don't know if I can handle this whole fucking thing. Is he gonna be like this the whole interview? Jesus. Okay, we'll see.
Все-таки
But still,
документы из архива.
these are documents from the archives, copies.
Здесь письма на Богдана
Here are the letters from Bogdan Khmelnytsky,
контролера власти.
the man who then controlled the power in this part of the Russian lands
В Варшаву.
that is now called Ukraine. He wrote to Warsaw demanding that their rights be upheld.
Просьбой взять их.
And after being refused, he began to write letters to Moscow, asking to take them under the strong hand of the Moscow Tsar. There are copies of these documents. I will leave them for your good memory. There's a translation into Russian. You can translate it into English later. Russia would not agree to admit them straight away, assuming that the war with Poland would start. Nevertheless, in 1654, the Pan-Russian Assembly of top clergy and landowners, headed by the Tsar,
Часть Кремлевских земель вошла
which was the representative body of the power of the old Russian state, decided to include a part of the old Russian lands into Moscow Kingdom. As expected, the war with Poland began. It lasted 13 years, and then in 1654, a truce was concluded.
Вечный мир, который был.
And 32 years later, I think, a peace treaty with Poland, which they called Eternal Peace, was signed.
Отошла к России.
And these lands, the whole left bank of Dnieper, including Kiev, went to Russia.
Затем во времена
And the whole right bank of Dnieper remained in Poland.
все исторические земли.
Under the rule of Catherine the Great, Russia reclaimed all of its historical lands, including in the south and west.
Да, вот
This all lasted until the revolution.
God, he's just yapping and yapping and yapping and yapping. Holy shit. Okay. I'm about to start skipping ahead to modern history. Does Tucker have fucking timestamps or he does not? Okay. Fuck.
Before World War I,
организаций.
Austrian General Staff relied on the ideas of Ukrainianization and started actively promoting the ideas of Ukraine and the Ukrainianization.
В преддверии мирового
Hold
General
on.
Staff
At what point? What are we talking about? Hold on.
including in the south and west. This all lasted until the revolution.
Bro, what is my laptop is so trash. Why does he keep like getting quieter?
воспользовавшись
Before World War I,
организацией,
Austrian General Staff relied on the ideas of Ukrainianization and started actively promoting the ideas of Ukraine and the Ukrainianization.
в преддверии мировой войны, конечно, было стремление ослабить
Their
потенциал.
motive was obvious. Just before World War I, they wanted to weaken the potential enemy and secure themselves favorable conditions in the border area. So the idea which had emerged in Poland that people residing in that territory were allegedly not really Russians, but rather belonged to a special ethnic group, Ukrainians, started being propagated by the Austrian General Staff.
которые говорили необходимо
As far back as the 19th century, theorists calling for Ukrainian independence appeared.
украинской независимости говорили,
All those, however, claimed that Ukraine should have a very good relationship with Russia.
настаивали.
from everything, my historical knowledge at this time period as far as Ukraine is very, very limited. But from everything I've heard, there are much older examples of Ukrainian national identity starting before fucking it was allegedly made up in World War I or whatever he's talking about. But yeah. Oh man, Jesus Christ! I didn't think this would be this fucking boring, but okay. Damn.
Ну вот,
They insisted on that.
после революции 1917 года,
After the 1917 revolution,
стараясь восстановить государственность, развернулась
the
гражданская
Bolsheviks sought to restore the statehood, and the civil war began, including the hostilities with Poland.
Польши в 1921 году, которые, по которым западные
In 1921, peace with Poland was proclaimed, and under that treaty, the right bank of Dnieper River once again was given back to Poland.
в 1939
In 1939, after Poland cooperated with Hitler,
начала с Гитлером, а Польша сотрудничала.
it did collaborate with Hitler, you know? Hitler offered Poland peace and a treaty of friendship,
В архивах есть. Предлагал с Польшей
an alliance demanding in return that Poland give back to Germany the so-called Danzig corridor, which connected the bulk of Germany with East Prussia and Königsberg.
основную часть Германии с Кёнигсбергом и с Восточной Пруссией.
After World War I, this territory was transferred to Poland, and instead of Danzig, a city of Dansk emerged.
И вместо Данцига появился.
Hitler asked them to give it amicably, but they refused.
Of course.
Still, they collaborated with Hitler and engaged together
И вместе занялись
in the partitioning of Czechoslovakia.
But may I ask you, you're making the case that Ukraine, certainly parts of Ukraine, Eastern Ukraine, is in effect Russia has been for hundreds of years. Why wouldn't you just take it when you became president 24 years ago? You have nuclear weapons, they don't.
Okay, finally we're getting somewhere. Okay, we're finally getting off of that 15-minute fucking tangent. Oh my god. Thank you, Mr. Tucker Carlson. Jesus.
If it's actually your land, why did you wait so long?
Щас- Да, щас
I'll
скажу.
tell you.
Я щас скажу.
I'm
Я
coming to
заканчиваю.
that.
Oh no. Fuck! He's back! Okay, fuck! No, he's getting fuck. He's about to ramble again.
Everything is coming to an end. It might be boring, but it
It's not
explains
boring.
many
You
things.
just don't know how it's relevant.
Ну,
True, true. Okay, Tucker's got a cookie.
отлично, тогда мне очень
Good.
приятно, что ты это оценил.
Good.
Спасибо большое.
I'm so
Итак,
gratified that you appreciate that.
после,
Thank you.
перед вторым-
He's already malding? Okay. Hold on. We're getting somewhere here. Okay.
So, before World War II, Poland collaborated with Hitler, and although it did not yield to Hitler's demands, it still participated in the partitioning of Czechoslovakia together with Hitler, as the Poles had not given the Danzig corridor to Germany and went too far, pushing Hitler to start World War II by attacking them. Why was it Poland against whom the war started on 1st September 1939?
его планов.
Poland turned out to be uncompromising, and Hitler had nothing to do but start implementing his plans with Poland.
И Советский Союз
By the way, the USSR, I have read some archived documents, behaved very honestly.
войска на помощь Чехословакии.
It asked Poland's permission to transit its troops through the Polish territory to help Czechoslovakia.
Было сказано, что если даже Советский
But
Союз
the then Polish foreign minister said that if the Soviet planes flew over Poland, they would be downed over the territory of Poland.
война началась,
But that doesn't matter. What matters is that the war began, and Poland fell prey to the policies it had pursued against Czechoslovakia, as under the well-known Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Part of the territory, including western Ukraine, was to be given to Russia. Thus, Russia, which was then named as USSR, regained its historical lands. After the victory in the Great Patriotic War, as we call World War II,
эти территории окончательно были
all those territories were ultimately enshrined as belonging to Russia,
Польша.
to the USSR.
По этой компенсации, так надо полагать.
As for
получила
Poland, it
западную,
received, apparently in compensation, the lands which had originally been German.
западную, восточную часть
The eastern parts of Germany,
земли.
these are now western lands of Poland.
Сегодня. Ну, естественно, и опять вернули.
Of course, Poland regained access to the Baltic Sea and Danzig,
Данцик, который опять стал называться.
which was once again given its Polish name.
Вот таким образом сложилось.
So this was how this situation developed.
Формирование Советского Союза, это уже 1900
In 1922, when the USSR was being established,
большевики начали формировать
the
СССР.
Bolsheviks started building the USSR and established the Soviet Ukraine.
Bro, the double English voice over the Russian voice is like throwing me off. Like it's actually kind of hard to listen to, but I wish it was just subtitled. Oh my god. It's kind of annoying, but it's fine. And he's still just going. Like Tucker was trying to stop him for a second, and then no, he's just like, no, hold on, let me finish, okay? And then he's just still. Can we get caught up already? Why are we still on the World War II? Hold on. Oh no shot! I got a copyright. I just got an email that I got a copyright notice on my live stream. Did they actually copyright this fucking live stream? Oh my god. My shit got claimed. Hold on. Is it actually just done? Stream unavailable. That's fucking awesome. That's so cool. It's just not playing. Sick. Ah, kill me. Why? Why? Well, fuck me. Based. Based. Yes, dude. I love Tucker. What a cool guy.